Alright, much Abrew about nothing time. Playing some Curious Tutelage in Standard. And we get to play first. And, geez, not a single spell. Well, we should draw into spells. This deck is like all spells. So, Wandering Fumarole, go. Wandering Fumarole for our opponent. We could be in a mirror, or pseudo-mirror. Let's play our Curious Homunculus. Curious Homunculus. Flips around into Voracious Reader. Big prowess creature. Opponent has Fiery Impulse. The thing is, if our opponent is playing the non-tutelage build of this deck, which is possible, then tutelage is going to be insanely good, because their deck is built around Fevered Visions, making both players draw cards. So, being the only one with Sphinx's tutelage, I think would mean we're favored. There's the Fevered Visions. Alright, let's see how this goes. So our opponent's giving us extra tutelage triggers every turn. Unfortunately, we are not drawing anything. Shivan Reef, go. Oh my goodness, we draw another land. Okay. Well, this is not where we want to be, drawing just mono lands. Thing in the Ice for our opponent. Reveler is a horror, so it's not going to get bounced by Thing in the Ice. And then just Incendiary Flow to the face, puts us down to 15. Opponent draws an extra card. We draw another tutelage. Alright, well, let's play another tutelage, see if we ever draw action. We draw a Kozilek's Return. This is getting a little bit scary. Our opponent's down to 30 cards, but we have just not drawn any spells. This is a spell deck. And because we haven't drawn any spells, we can't do anything. Oh, another tutelage. Well, let's see how much we mill our opponent. Not as much as we'd like. What an awkward draw. Well, 1, 2, 3. Play another tutelage. The problem is if they can flip their things in the ice, we're just going to lose. And it's definitely not impossible that they can just play enough spells to flip Thing in the Ice. Because we're dropping to 9 here. And I don't think we're going to mill 25. Opponent has Fiery Impulse. Ooh. Alright, that's fine. Let's see what we draw. Fiery Impulse on the Thing in the Ice. We draw a Tormenting Voice, which would win us the game if we had drawn it earlier. We get to Kozilek's Return, kill a Thing in the Ice, and see if we're dead. If we live one more turn, we're almost guaranteed to win. We can Tormenting Voice, trigger a bunch of tutelages. The question is, our opponent needs to play a spell, play a 4 damage... Well, let's see what burn spells they have. That's what this is all about. They have Collective Defiance. Oh, our opponent just went suicidal. I guess they did not have enough. They just made... They gave us so many tutelage triggers. And then died to their own Fevered Visions. Alright. Oh, they were close. So against this deck, I don't even know exactly what we want. Probably the negates. Not the Manic Scribes. Not the Fiery Impulses. Not really the Kozilek's Return either. Maybe bring in... Well, Rending Volley does kill Thing in the Ice. Actually, we might need Impulse to kill Jace and or Thermo-Alchemist, I think are their other creatures. Well, we have Fiery Temper and Lightning Axe. Can we bring in Chandra? The other option would be to bring in Manic Scribes. They're not great, but... Now let's try Chandra. Let's see how this goes. Chandra can potentially get us a lot of tutelage triggers as well. We can't keep this one. At least we get some card draw in this hand. I think we put another Homunculus to the bottom for now. Highland Lake for our opponent. Fumarole, go. Shivan Reef. And Thermo-Alchemist. A little scary. Well, let's just Island and Curious Homunculus. Pass the turn. So we are going to start taking a lot of damage. And we do not have any tutelages.
CBS News reports that the federal government is...
Opponent activates Thermo-Alchemist. And Incendiary Flow on our Homunculus. Alright. Well, let's take inventory. Opponent's going to ping us. We draw another Shivan Reef. Alright, play Shivan Reef, pass the turn. Fevered Visions for our opponent. And we get pinged for 1. Opponent draws. We get a Wandering Fumarole. Well, let's just Island and Startled Awake. Mill 13. And pass the turn. Draw another land. We have been drawing a lot of lands. And not as much card draw as we would like. Jace for our opponent. Pings us with Alchemist. Unfortunately, we can't play Chandra this turn. Now, let's see what we draw here. Another Chandra. Well, I guess we just Wandering Fumarole and pass the turn. Leave up our negate. We're kind of in semi-bad shape. This draw has been incredibly slow. Ooh, Fiery Temper. Oh, we do get to kill the Jace. Or attempt to. Does our opponent have a negate? Opponent has the negate. Gets to untap their Alchemist. Oh, we're getting pretty close to being dead here. Because our opponent can flip the Jace and then flash back like Collective Defiance or something. And that's more damage. We have gotten some really clunky draws. Opponent takes up Jace, targeting their Thermo-Alchemist. Down to 9. Opponent draws with Fevered Visions. Another land. Yeah, we're very dead here. I mean, I guess we try at Chandra, but we're just pretty dead. Alright, that does it. We've gotten some weird draws. We got a lot of card draw, sort of. We're just not very good at finding it. I think this setup is fine, though. I guess we could bring in the Nahiri's Wrath. Let's just run it back like this. Alright, we get to play first. No red mana. Yeah, we got a mulligan. Oh, Lord. We are good at drawing both of our Chandras. I think we put Homunculus to the bottom. Highland Lake, go. Wandering Fumarole for our opponent. Well, we need to take inventory to try to find a land. Found a land, but unfortunately it's a tap land. So we can't just slam our tutelage. There's the thing in the ice. Oh, we really need an untapped land here. Alright, there's an untapped land, so at least we get a tutelage down. That's a start. Now we just need to kill thing in the ice and draw cards. Sanitarium for our opponent. And there's the Fevered Visions. Well, that's going to help with the card drawing issue. Opponent draws. We draw a mountain. Opponent mills 2. Well, it's just Wandering Fumarole, pass the turn. Get a Curious Homunculus. Mill a couple more. Another thing in the ice. Whew! And a Thermo-Alchemist. Well, we're mostly hoping to get this Chandra down somehow. Opponent draws. We get another Wandering Fumarole. Well, let's Curious Homunculus, Wandering Fumarole, pass the turn. Hope our opponent can't flip their thing in the ices, and that they can't counter our Chandra. Pings with Thermo-Alchemist. Incendiary Flow. Gets some counters off thing in the ice, untaps Thermo-Alchemist. And just goes to our face. Interesting. Taps it again. And Collective Defiance, 3 more damage. Gets more counters off thing in the ice. I guess the question is going to be how much burn does our opponent have? We're down to 7. Opponent draws. Oh, we draw another land. Well, Island. Chandra. Take down Chandra. Wipe the board. We drop to 5 from Fevered Visions. Draw another land. I feel like we flooded out. I don't know if that's true or not, but it definitely feels like we're flooding out. I'll have to look and see how many lands are in this deck, because it just feels like we draw a insane amount, or we have every single game. The biggest problem is we're likely just going to lose to some combination of Fevered Visions and Burn Spells. And our opponent has Collective Defiance down to 2, so we're just dead to Fevered Visions. And I don't think we can get complete... Another land! Alright, that's the game. Oh, my lord. Well, maybe this is just not... we'll see. Maybe their version is better than our version. Well, the deck... I guess it is playing 25 lands, which is kind of an absurd amount.